I'm going to keep it simple, because the biggest decision most people face with a home theater projector isn't the headline numbers, it's whether the unit will actually work in the room you have and fit the kind of movie nights you're planning. If you've been scrolling through endless specs sheets and wondering if you should spend a few thousand on a projector or stick with a big TV, this review will try to cut through the noise. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the Sony BRAVIA 7, that's the model number VPLXW5100ES, is marketed as a flagship-level laser projector. That phrasing tells you two things right away. Sony is positioning this as a premium option, and they expect you to have a fairly dedicated home theater space. The biggest hesitation I hear from buyers is, will this actually look good in my living room, or will I need a dedicated dark room? That's a fair question, because laser projectors promise brightness, but they still rely on ambient light conditions to deliver a clean picture. The projector puts out up to 2,200 lumens, which is roughly the brightness you'd expect from a mid-range home theater projector. In a completely dark room, 2,200 lumens will give you a punchy image with bright whites and deep blacks, especially when you pair it with Sony's XR Luminous Pro color engine that claims over 1 billion colors. I've seen similar setups where a 2,000 lumens laser projector easily fills a 120-inch screen with a vivid picture as long as you can dim the lights. If your living room has a lot of windows or you plan to watch movies with the lights on, you'll notice washout after a while. The practical takeaway is, this unit excels when you can control the room lighting, but it's not a miracle performer in a bright, sunlit space. Another real-world factor is the size of the screen you want. Sony's native 4K SXRD panel means the image will stay razor-sharp even at larger sizes, but the projector's throw distance is relatively short compared to ultra-short throw models. In a typical 12-foot room, you'll need to place the projector somewhere between 10 and 12 feet from the screen to get a 100-inch image. That means you have to plan for a ceiling mount or a dedicated table, and you'll need a screen that can handle the resolution without a lot of glare. If you were hoping to just set it on a bookshelf and toss a sheet over a wall, you might be disappointed. The convenience factor here is that the unit's footprint is smaller than older lamp-based projectors, but it still isn't drop-in ready for every space. Now let's talk about the laser light source itself. Sony advertises it as ultra-pure and long-lasting, and that's a real advantage over traditional lamp projectors, which need bulb replacements every couple of years. The laser in the BRAVIA 7 is rated for roughly 20,000 hours of operation, which translates to about 5 years of nightly use before you'd think about any service. For a homeowner who doesn't want to schedule lamp changes or worry about dimming over time, that reliability is a solid selling point. On the flip side, laser units can run hotter than lamp units, so you'll need adequate ventilation. I've seen owners install a small fan or make sure the projector's rear vents aren't blocked by a bookshelf. Ignoring that can lead to thermal throttling, where the brightness drops after an hour of continuous viewing. One of the things that sets Sony apart is the XR processor, which the company says brings the best of Sony's image processing to the projector. In practice, what you notice is a cleaner upscaling of lower resolution content and reduced noise in dark scenes. If you regularly stream 1080p movies or watch Blu-ray discs, you'll appreciate the smoother gradations and the way shadows retain detail. However, this processing does add a tiny amount of input lag, roughly 30 milliseconds, which is negligible for movies but could be noticeable for fast-paced competitive gaming. If your primary use case includes serious gaming, you might want to look at a projector with a dedicated game mode. Who should buy this? Think of families who already have a decent audio setup, want true 4K cinema quality, and can dedicate a room or at least a corner of a room to a proper screen. The projector's color accuracy and resolution shine when paired with a calibrated screen and a good surround sound system. It also makes sense for people who travel a lot, because you won't have to replace a lamp, the laser will keep going, and the unit is portable enough to move between a primary home theater and a secondary space, provided you have the mounting gear. Who should skip it? If you live in a small apartment with limited control over ambient light, or if you're looking for a plug-and-play solution that works on a simple wall, this isn't the best match. The need for a proper screen, ceiling mount, and controlled lighting adds upfront effort and cost that many first-time projector buyers aren't prepared